hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as a judge. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I am Matty, joined tonight by Colin and John. John, how you doing?
I'm not bad, but I've had a wee bit of an itchy eye for the last couple of minutes.
It could be a bit of spunk in it.
Aye, that does happen from time to time.
Just
Still reach that far.
Just a wine that went awry.
I've not got my glasses on now. You're talking about eyes. My eyes are healing a bit, but I went to the optician yesterday. Was it yesterday? No. It was a football Wednesday. And she says, right, can they do that thing with the wee thing, the twist sound? Is it better or clearer or darker or smaller? And in fact, just looks exactly the same over them. And I was explaining that my prescription, I can't really read stuff. Like I have to do, but when all bend it and they hold something away like at arm's length to read it. I have to do that. I'm short-sighted, but with my lenses in, it's like the short-sighted bit doesn't work. I have to hold stuff out. And I had varifocal contact lenses before to help with it, but they weren't that effective. So she says, "Oh, we'll try you on monovision." Is what we call it.
Is that not black and white?
Well, that's what I thought. She says, which one's your dominant eye? I don't know. She says, well, if you were going to take a photo and hold the camera up, where would you put it? And I was like, right eye. Go with that. I don't even care if that's fucking what I would have done, but in my head, I imagined.
When was the last time anybody held a fucking camera up at their face?
I mean,
so this is a thing. Oh, sorry, I'll let Matty finish, but if we come back to this.
So what she says is, right, so your dominant eye, we'll use that for distance. So basically what we're going to do is write your prescription. You'll have one eye for up close and one eye for far away. And I don't know why, but in my head, I just imagine having like one fucking massive eye, one tiny one. I was like, I'm not sure I want to sign up for this. And it took me a wee second to realise that it's just fucking exactly the same, just the strength of the lens is a bit different. But it's like fucking having one monocle and a telescope.
I think she needs to update her procedure notes. Like,
Aye.
I mean, hold my camera up. Like, come on, there must be something else you can. If you were peeking at if they're peeking at your blinds, what eye would you look at?
If you were looking through your perf telescope.
So the thing that I was going to say about the eyes and picking up the camera, like for some folk, like people of an age like ourselves, like we still remember like the disposables or even like the current digital ones, but like for most folk nowadays, it's like pick up the mobile. But it's the same with telephones. Like you guys remember was it the rotary, the dialer?
Yeah.
And picking up a phone. So if I was to say to you right now, and for people listening, watch the video, there's a phone in front of you. Obviously, there isn't a phone in front of you right now, but it rings. How do you pick it up and say hello into that phone? Show me the action.
Oh, I don't know. Is this one of the ones where you end up looking like you're getting something to block?
No, I'm not being a dick about it. Just there's a phone ringing, answer the phone.
All right.
Like the old style phone, you mean?
Oh.
Aye. So right. Aye. But there's a thing. It was a video that I saw. I think it was on TikTok not that long ago.
Oh,
so
was it
Matty
kids
lifted the
work
phone.
out?
Aye, and then but there's other people. So like we might answer the phone like this, like imaginary, or like Matty did, like you pick up the handset. But a lot of people nowadays, younger people, when they go to answer the phone because they're used to the mobile, put it up to the head like that.
The whole thing.
So I wonder if the optician was maybe aware of your age, Matthew, when she was asking you.
She could have been looking at me.
No.
We would have walked in. She's probably thinking 20s, but it'll be into retro stuff.
Aye.
So
or he's going to have the school holidays. She's probably thinking. That's why he's here.
That's right. He's here. How are you doing, Colin? Anyway,
I'm all right. Finished the day for a week's holiday. So,
superb.
Aye, no bad. And I'm glad the lights affecting my t-shirt because I got this pack of t-shirts out of Next, like one of these 5 or 6 packs, and they were all, it was white, black, grey, and red. But actually, It's quite close to maroon.
Oh,
I'm fucking wearing it because I've paid for it. But the light in the room gives it this nice purple colour.
aye, it doesn't look
It's
maroon,
actually
so you're
nicer
alright.
than the real life colour. So, aye, it's quite a. It's not quite maroon, but it is a dark red.
Three cheers for artificial light.
Definitely maroon. Arsenal used to wear that, and they called it red for it. It's fucking maroon.
Right, we'll get some questions. Get the show underway. First one tonight comes from Neil Renton. He said, "What mystifies you of the younger generation? For me, it's seeing them in holiday and roasting hot weather, wearing sliders and socks."
I see the number of bairns that you see wandering about that have got either one or both earpods in constantly. Like they're
Aye.
standing chatting to their pals, maybe, and I can't tell whether they're listening to music or what's going on. Like sometimes, like they've just got one in
So,
on maybe like the left hand side, and you see like kids on their pals on the right hand side. I'm like, what's actually happening there?
I've got a teenager that does that. I think it's very convenient because I think they can pretend they can't hear you when you're shouting on them to come down for their tea, to tidy the room, to put the dishes away, whatever it is. And if they've got them in, even though they're not playing nothing through them, they can, can hear you. So yeah, they might ignore the first 2-3 shouts.
Interestingly,
Aye.
I'm maybe being critical of it, but I find a set of headphones brilliant for being able to ignore like is it the Cat Protection League and the other folk with like the charity clipboards. Like didn't even acknowledge them, just breeze past.
Used to just get my phone in my pocket, but the headphones work. I do it at work sometimes. I put the headphones in. I'm not playing anything. Just like it's almost like didn't disturb me. I'm in the middle of something.
Could you imagine
on these people? Right, I went into the Gale. When was it? A couple of weeks back, anyway. I can't remember what was there. John, it was when I was on my way back for yours. What did I drop off at yours? Was it a mug for somebody or something like that?
The Longbangers coaster for McBee.
On my way back for that, I nipped into the Gale to get some food, right? And as I came in past Subway, and I was going to the food court, which is all fucking gone now, or most of it is. There was a woman who had, the bucket out, saying, help kids with cancer, and genuinely no change, and card machine. I was going, still no.
No. I've no money in the account either.
I can't but it's made embarrassing admitting to the money in the account, and it's getting no change. You can genuinely pat your pockets and that. I can go. But if I could have whipped out the card reader, I was like, fucking hell.
It's
you can't exactly go, just take 42p. Kind of like you might have emptied your pocket. You've actually got to put a decent amount on it normally, yeah. If you're doing it with a card machine.
Aye.
I genuinely got asked the question once in Livy Centre by someone with the clipboard and the bucket and said, "Do you want to help kids with cancer?" And I'm like, "Of course I do, but I didn't want to give you money."
Aye.
What else can I do?
That's exactly what else could I do? Like, can I help right now? Because it's like the way they phrase that question is to guilt trip you.
Yeah.
Speaking of guilt trips, this will just it's triggered something. Boy on Facebook, right? I think if it's a listener or a guy I used to work beside, put a story up on his Facebook page, not one of the stories, but actual kind of written down one. He'd come out of his house and seen a seagull, and it was kind of like warning about, but looked like it was struggling, and he went away to his work, and he came back, and the seagull was still outside the house, and it was struggling to walk, so he phoned the RSPCB. There's a separate one for birds, isn't there? And they came out and said, basically, it's fucked its wing. We could fix it because of the bird flu. Just gonna have to put it in. And he was devastated. So that's what they did. They put it. They could have left it alone. Put it its misery. So they did that. And so he posted that he was feeling terrible about it. Because he was feeling terrible about it, I didn't make the joke that I wanted to do, which was, "There's nothing for you to feel guilty about." So I might have cheered them up. I might have cheered them up. But the thing is, he'd already posted something the day before. What was it he'd done? And I'd kind of hijacked one of his threads. It was, he'd been watching maybe Stranger Things or something like that, and he says it was going well, but then they started playing Living on a Prayer. I said it was quite good, and they was enjoying it, and they were halfway there. Anyway, right.
See, just while I was thinking about this, see, while see if you can't afford headphones or you've forgotten your headphones, do you think hanging a couple of do not disturb signs from your ears like you would get in a hotel would work? Like, do you think people would look at it and go, all right, he doesn't want to be disturbed, I'll not speak to him? Or would they
I
look
think
at
it's
you and
much
go,
more. See, it's much more effective, right? Because I remember back in the old days, I worked in Aegon, where you guys have both worked or work at the moment, right? And it was more in the admin teams, I think, when I was in the admin teams, and you used to get something for the back of your seat. You were on A-time, I think they called it. A-time, is that right? I can't even remember what that means, but that would mean they disturb somebody. Like that was their hour to go and, I don't know, check cases or whatever it was. But the headphones work much better because everybody used just to fucking ignore it. I did, like, just chat away and that. There was never a. But I folk used to have that. I can't remember what A-time means. But that was, I think,
it's certainly not alone time because I was never left alone when I was there.
Well, I used to just kind of mutter under my breath angrily and just have a sketch pad with just big black scribbles on it and death written down and murder.
Carnage.
Folk just left Charlie and that was fine. The youth of today, Josh is on holiday. My son Josh, he's out in Malia at the moment and he's been sending pictures back and they've got the bump bags over the shoulder as discussed last week.
I mean, he sent you a message earlier because I was standing at the window. I was on the phone working earlier and 3 wee laddies walked past it, 12, 13, 14-year-old. And one of them in the middle had one of the bum bags on diagonally over his shoulder. But he had his hands in his pockets. And I thought, you've got pockets, mate. Why did you need that?
What, exactly. What I like, though, is he's going to come back for his holiday with a tan, but a big white bum bag. But
it's going to be like the Peruvian strip, isn't it?
Aye. Right, Leon asked, is taking a bike on a train not cheating?
Aye, well, what's it cheating? They're cheating themselves, eh? That's what they're doing now. But I guess you would only take a bike and a train if the cycle's too far for you. You're trying to. Why else would you take a bike and a train?
It'd be if you couldn't. You maybe didn't have time. Like, say you were commuting to your work and you like cycling, so you'd cycle to the train station, jump on the train, get you into the city centre, and then you cycle the rest of the way. You could probably manage that without having to get up at 5 a.m. or whatever. That seems reasonable.
Aye, so you still got a wee half-hour cycle that you've taken.
If you were doing the Tour de France, so it'd be you'd be cheating.
Aye. I think it's in the rules.
But see someone jumping on the train, because jumping on the train is shorter journey, so it means that they don't have to get up at 5 a.m. Does that not demonstrate a lack of commitment to cycling? Like, do those people describe themselves as cyclists or commuters?
Well, a bit of both. But you drive, like folk drive to the train station or a park and ride, and then jump on and.
Folk get off the bus early and walk as well. There's a keep fit thing, don't they?
Aye.
Get off 2 stops early. That's what they say and all that. To help you sit. They're cheating as well. Are they cheating as well?
It's a good question.
You need to find what cheating is.
All right. 150.
Cheating. Sorry, go on.
That's right. 150k on a Hanlon Hill, and I think this question originally came from Louisa's daughter, and then was hijacked. Is what would happen if you put oil in a volcano?
How much or how little? And are we talking like olive oil? Are we talking motor oil?
I presume motor oil, like the thick, gloopy black stuff, or it's kind of like a golden brown sometimes colour now, isn't it?
And what volcano?
Anyone, doesn't matter. One that's not extinct, a functioning volcano. The one where Joe went, in the film Joe and the Volcano.
Right, that one. How much oil? Enough to make so we've got enough oil that's got to cause some damage, presumably, or would it cause damage? Is the other side it? Well,
see,
I don't know.
When we say active volcano, so we mean that there's like lava, like sloshing about inside the crater.
Aye, one that works.
I love the idea of volcano having like an on and off switch, like operable and inoperable volcanoes.
The fuse is gone on it. I don't know, like if it was already erupted and you chucked oil in it, It's just that is literally adding fuel to the fire, so it would make it a little
Yeah.
bit worse, but probably not enough that you would notice. I don't think it wouldn't put it out. Do you know? There's no danger of that happening.
So I think, you know how you see like the lava flow, like, especially in Hawaii, I think when it reaches the water, I don't think it requires a hell of a lot of water to change the lava into rock. And I wonder if there's any quality about oil, whether it's cooking oil or motor oil, that would have a similar effect. And if you did, like, could you potentially save your life with oil if you found yourself under attack by a volcano?
I'm going to say no, and because of that, the infamous.
What if you were to just like douse
wanking,
yourself in oil?
Do you know the wanking guy that was covered in kind of solidified? And
do you think he was lubed up with like
baby oil? He was probably on the baby oil for it, sure, and on his own, and he's done it. And if anything, it's made it worse. So,
they were pretty kinky in Pompeii. I was down there,
yeah.
And there's loads of pornographic graffiti on the walls, so there's a good chance that he was having a slippery wank.
Well, that's where the phrase "rompy pompy" comes from, isn't it? 150 Kate Harlan also asked, how much paint would it take to paint the sky? No undercoat and one top coat.
So we're learning now the questions John's going to ask.
Preempting you, John. Right, first of all, what colour are you picking for it if you're painting the sky?
Blue.
What's
Blue
fucking
for
point in that?
How would you?
Well, it's white now, so look quite nice. It was nice.
Mind we had a conversation a wee while back about where the sky starts, and the sky starts basically at your feet. So you're painting the ground. You're not painting the sky.
You're
not
above the ground.
Aye. So I don't know.
You're going to need gallons of the stuff.
At least 3 or 4 of the big 5 litre tubs.
Get the 5 litre tub.
And a big pole with a roller on it.
A skyhook.
Why did you try to wallpaper it? You know?
Have you seen the? I think they're almost like the Karchers, but I think you can basically spray paint. Like do it. You can spray a larger area than you could with a roller or with a brush. Like that's got to be the tool to paint the sky.
It'd be alright in the sky. But fences are a nightmare if you've got. They're alright for the panels, the ones. But if you've got the individual bits of wood, it just pushes through the gap.
Just
wasted in your neighbour's garden. What about? Would it take you longer if you did it at night?
So I was thinking when Colin was saying about painting the sky blue that you'd find that really difficult to have a reference point. Like, where did you start? Where does it end? What have you missed?
That's sometimes like doing your ceiling white. Can you just read it?
True.
I reckon you would start in Australia in the morning and you would work your way.
Really big pole. Right, so obviously the difficulty with painting the sky is an intangible with paint, but clouds are, although they're sort of vapours, there's enough physical stuff in there that could you paint a cloud?
Aye, but with that gun that I described, I don't think you could do it with a roller or a brush.
Cloud, but I think when you see clouds coming in on a plane, and when you're that close to them, and they just look like smoke. They didn't look like there's any physical. So it'd be like, can you paint smoke?
Well, you get coloured smoke, can't you? So,
see, I'm sure I remember watching a cartoon where the clouds, like people used to fly about in them, and it kind of looked like soft and comfortable. So that's the way that I view clouds, like when I'm up on an airplane. Like, it would be quite nice to go out there and just lie down for a bit.
They look like they'd be easier to paint the top of them. Well, you know, when you're above the clouds in the plane, you look down if it's a cloudy day, and it just looks like a white layer. That looks like it would be quite easy to paint. In which case, you could just fly over the top of it and spray it like the crop planes.
Get one of the rings on the back of the plane.
And then when it rained, would you have coloured raindrops come down?
I think if you did, you hadn't done your job properly, because any sort of drippage when you've been painting is a bad result.
but the cloud would have to evaporate eventually. That's where the rain would come down. So if you coloured in the cloud, the rain would have to be coloured as well.
I would suspect you're right. Aye.
Right. One big eye, one wee eye. Shirley Mulgrew thinks she made that up. Said, inspired by Curvy Nisbet's balloon tweet. And if you've not seen that, go and have a look at Curvy Nisbet on Twitter. You'll see a Spider-Man balloon sort of bouncing along the street and jumping up at a CCTV camera. Where is the cut-off for Peter Parker's Spidey senses, i.e. do they kick in when he forgets to put the bins out or when he forgets to pay off his credit card at the end of the month?
How does this work like? So I have seen Spider-Man, right? But when he's Peter Parker, has he still got Spidey senses? Is that what
it's not when he puts on the suit. He's Spider-Man.
When he gets dressed, it's when he's cosplaying.
Yeah. So, but it's meant to be when he's in danger, and those things wouldn't really put you in danger, would they?
So, see, the danger is the danger that is he expecting like physical harm and that like he's trying to avoid it, or because it's not just when just when he's in danger, it's when other things are happening.
Yeah.
So, like if you had any.
What was the examples? Credit card and what was the thing? Forgot to put the bins in. I think they've got to be coming up on the list, the priority list.
What about when he's sat in the living room and he starts enjoying like a TV show and he forgets that he's put the dinner in the oven? Do you think his spidey senses start going off then?
Maybe if he worries about the fire, or if somebody picks up a glass in case they're about to trap him under it, or a newspaper.
Is it his auntie he stays with?
Aye.
He's having a wank and he kens his auntie's at the bottom of the stairs on the way up. That's where the spidey sense triggers.
How does he? I was going to say a danger light. Like, do you think he's got the ability to override the danger sense?
I reckon he would just shoot his spider stuff at the door. And
that's not any different from what you're trying to say.
What's that on your sock, Webbin?
Obviously.
I have a mate who says that when he was like in his teens, he used to put dog toys on the stairs all the way up. So as like an early morning system. So he'd hear his mum or dad standing on it, and that would give him enough time to pull his breeks up or whatever.
I wonder if he had like different toys like strategically placed on different
steps.
So he knew how close these parents were. Right, okay, they're just on the bottom step. They're on the third step.
I hope so.
Like just in tune to the different pitch of the squeak.
PG Willis asks, at what stage is it acceptable for men to start wearing Velcro shoes? Asking for myself.
I'm not sure it's ever acceptable.
I think it's acceptable at the bowling. Like when you go up, what's it called, Mega Bowl at like Fountain Park or that.
That's like, they make you wear them.
So
this is a choice. Yeah.
They must be practical, the way. Like it must be better than just get your laces coming loose or whatever. Well, that doesn't really happen that often, eh? Like you get loose laces.
Do you think the Velcro on Velcro shoes is of a better standard than most other Velcros? Because you know how like most other Velcros like just end up picking up shite, and you're going to presumably pick up more shite when you're out with your guys.
You get a bit of your socks and that in it as well, and everything. Can you just like, because they're next to each other on the floor, or kind of like fucking bits of thread and that on them.
Aye.
I just, why would you just get a pair of slip-ons if you don't want laces?
Well, the Velcro ones, I mean, the biggest problem with them, they're fucking rip-off.
Okay, now.
I'm here all week. Parma Ham. Oh no, sorry, just skipping ahead here. Stephen Bell says vanilla ice cream was this week again declared as the most popular ice cream flavour. What would be your most outrageous ice cream flavour suggestion? And he said, I'll go for hard, reheated and dry football kebab meat pie flavour.
Fucking hell. Yeah, why do you think vanilla's the most... I like a vanilla ice cream, a good vanilla ice cream, like a white one. Do you come when you get a yellow vanilla?
Aye.
But do you mean like the Wall's soft scoop?
The soft scoop.
Yellow.
It's not even got milk in it, isn't it? It's like, well, They came what they make it with, but it's no fucking. It's just
Margarine.
Aye,
It's margarine.
frozen margarine. Fucking hell.
Like a proper white one, like one you used to get off the Arcaris vans down our way, or Lucas in Musselburgh. One of them. But do you think vanilla is the most popular because everybody makes it, whereas the other ones are, you didn't always get strawberry, or you didn't always get chocolate, or most places will do chocolate. You know what I mean? And then it's tiered for the any. You go down to Lucas now, and there's like tablet ice cream or fudgy wudgy and all that mint choc chip, but you didn't get that everywhere. But it is really good. But you always get vanilla everywhere you go, so it sells more. So
it's the default, isn't it? Aye.
Must be.
I want to say that it's ubiquitous, but I might not be using that in its right context, and I want folk to have a go at me for using big words again, because I really enjoyed it the first time. By the way, I did use it in its right context. Ubiquitous, or I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Present, appearing, or found everywhere.
Yeah, there you go. What flavour are you making? What's your outrageous flavour, John?
My outrageous flavour is... What's the name of that fairground out Glasgow way?
M&D's, is it?
M&D's. So M&D's burger van. Questionable burger. Questionable meat.
Unidentified meat.
Unidentified meat. M&D's burger van, unidentifiable meat.
What were you called?
So I'll need to think about it, but I was just going to tell you, I was at Lucas a few weeks ago, and a couple of weeks ago, and I got this one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically cocoa and coconut, right? And it's really nice, like dark chocolate. It's like a dark chocolate bounty when you eat it, if you like dark chocolate bounties. But it looks like a big plate, like a big tub, ash or something in your bowl. It's that dark. It's just black.
With the wee speckles of the coconut through it.
Aye, it's really nice though. Lovely. Yeah. Like I kept putting you off the look at it, but magic. But outrageous. I tell you, when he's saying outrageous, he's meaning horrible as well, like because he's naming kebab meat.
Aye, but a kebab pie is nice. So if it had that flavour,
aye, that's nice. Would you eat that cold though?
Probably. To be fair, look at the neck of my collar. I'm fussy.
Well, I know, but what is though? Would you though? Because it's like fucking cold. It's not cold as in it's left over for the night before and you just picked it up. It's fucking freezing.
Yep.
So would you put a kebab that you've not ate in the freezer and pick it up in the morning?
No.
Right, so that's what I'm thinking.
Do you think, see with the things that we've described, do you think you could actually make ice cream out of them? Because ice cream, I think, is it heavy cream? I don't know, is it like some milk and you just like churn it through that thing? But presumably, if you were to like purify the stuff that we've described, add a bit of milk, that's your ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, you could mash it up and do it if you wanted to. I mean, these things aren't beyond the realms of possibility. So whether you would want to do that.
I think something with chilli in it would be quite, like a fresh chilies and a cheese and chili or something. Cheese and chili. Ice cream.
I'll say minge. Right. Parma Ham 2 said, what's the biggest thing a seagull could eat?
They've not got big mouths, have they? Is this not a winner? Or is it like, because they could nibble something all day, yeah?
They can eat a rabbit. I've seen a seagull eat a rabbit before.
Was there a video of that recently? I'm sure I saw a video of a seagull eating something that was a bit odd.
Sure it was a rabbit.
It's a bit wild, a seagull eating a rabbit though, eh?
Aye.
I'll go rabbit then.
It's, there was a wee video again, one of these viral videos where I can't remember what it was. It was like a wee sort of rodent type thing that a family had obviously kind of nurtured, either back to health or from birth, and they were sort of releasing it out into the wild, and they opened the cage and literally the thing ran out and a bird swept in, took it and away. That was it. Fucked.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video of the cat outside Downing Street? Like, and it was down at this sort of like ready to pounce position. There was a pigeon, like, so cats maybe like halfway across the road, pigeons over like pecking away at the curb, and the cat had the jump on the pigeon, went over, had the claws in and everything. Bird still managed to get away. Like, is that no representative of British politics right now?
Aye,
Can't do
probably is,
fucking anything right.
Right, Tony Swanson. Right, so I'll caveat this one by saying these aren't necessarily the views of the podcast, right? But we read the questions as they come. He says, why do women spend an hour doing their hair before they go to the hairdresser? I don't take the plaster or paint out mine before I go to the barber. I think it's like a totally different experience, I think, for women going to the hairdresser than it is for guys, isn't it? Like, we just go and fucking...
So it's getting out as quick as you
and,
can. eh?
aye.
Yeah.
Probably gets cups of fucking coffee and everything now when they've got a proper hair. I know men go to these ones as well, right? Saying it's exclusively women, but it is more an experience for a woman doing it than it is for...
What's the longest you guys have ever been in the barber, and what is the longest you've heard of your partner or like your acquaintance, like a female acquaintance that has spent in the hairdresser?
45 minutes is my longest one.
I'm
Aye.
about 45 minutes as well.
And for waiting hours, like half a day. You know, if it's like hair dye and getting the whole lot done, half a day, easy.
I think there was a woman at my work once spent about like 6 hours, if not longer,
Fucking hell.
in the hairdresser. And like you say, that's an entire day. That's longer than I'm out of the football.
I had a mental one the other week. I went up to the Turkish barbers up the road to get the beard trim and the 00, as they class it in there. And I went in and the boys were clearly filling in, or the boss was away. And there was a guy, didn't speak a word, and he was like, "This is my cousin. This is my cousin." Didn't speak. He's just like learning how they cut hair over here. And I'm thinking, it was not hard for it. It's like, just take it off as low as you can. They sat me in the chair. Another boy came in, got a 00 as well, another bald boy, and he left me with this guy who was doing my hair. The boy that spoke English was rapid through he cut this boy's hair as far, but the boy had barely sat down and he was finished. And then he came back to me and he done my beard as quick as he could. Then he started getting the matches out and the burning my ear hair and all that. It was like they couldn't wait to get rid of me. I didn't care what they were up to, but the boy was like buzzed at his nuts. It was about 9:30 or something on a Saturday morning. It was like they've came straight for the night out or something.
Aye.
We'll just get a few haircuts and we'll fucking shut the place down again. The boss is there. It was like the weirdest fucking. Because normally you go in there and it's still over and done with quickly. But this one felt like, what are you doing in here? Like, why the fuck have you came in?
For fuck's sake.
I'll burn his ear here. Will you fucking cut his beard? It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Get his money while he's sat there.
And then it's like, pay with card and like, nah, cash only. I'm like, you've got a machine there, eh?
Aye, you
Like,
definitely
you-
do something like that.
Boss has never seen that, eh? It's just.
Hey, that's us out of time for the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, go and sign up for more, because we will have a Shortbangers extra out right after this if you're a subscriber. And you can subscribe by going to longbangers.hublave.net. It's £3 a month, works out at about 40p an episode, I think. Maybe even a little bit less than that. It's good value for it. And if you pay for it, you can feel entitled to tell us whether we should up our game or not. There you go. Right, so there's an added bonus for you.
Tell us it straight.
You could give us it straight, right? Keep it real.
Be real.
Right. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no,